Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
This is the Minto time again. Bob FREIN, someone that we know from other times in life, but Bob is now going straight, as they say. He's with Minto at LakePark, which is at Port St. Lucie, and I went with a colleague of mine up there, and we were so thrilled. So, Bob, you've been in the real estate business a long time. Why don't you talk a little bit about your career? That'll be fun.
Basically, I moved to Florida in 1980 to open the large PGA National project in Palm Beach Gardens. Over the next 35 years, I was the developer representative at Ballin Isles Country Club, Old Marsh Country Club, and Ibis Golf and Country Club.
Excuse me, I just have to interject. Yeah. And they are such a class act. I mean,
great
amazing,
communities.
Aren't they? They really turned out beautifully.
Lots of beautiful housing for lots of people over a very long period of time. So I thought I would retire in 2017, and very shortly thereafter I decided to join Minto and go back just to selling and not managing, and now I enjoy every day just selling the people that come to visit there and providing them with what they hope to be a final house that they can enjoy in their later years.
Smart move. It was a very, very good thing you did, because we think Minto is first class. I mean, they've been advertising with us and working with us for many years, and everything they do is gorgeous and first class, because they are, as of course you know, and maybe some of our readers and listeners don't know, that they are a Canadian company. And they've been around for, 60, 70 years? A long time. 60
years. They've built over 100,000 residences in Toronto and Ottawa, and now close to 25,000 residences since 1978 in South Florida.
Right, and I think what they did up there at Tradition in Port St. Lucie, they pretty much opened up that area. Without them, yeah. I think it would have been a little sleepier.
Yeah, they were one of the first builders to commit to a very large parcel, 1,100 lots, and even through the downturn in real estate, they prevailed and continued to sell, and really were one of the anchors that brought Tradition to life.
And when we went up there, we saw that the prices are almost unbelievable. And why don't you talk about that?
Well, it's very competitive. Obviously, the real estate in Palm Beach County has gotten to be extremely expensive, and about 40% of our buyers come from South Palm Beach County and Broward County, trying to lead the marketplace there for more affordable living. The land price is the big difference. The homes are the same quality, same built homes that one would get in Palm Beach County, but because the land price is much more reasonable, provides a much better value for people. And those people that come up from western Palm Beach County and South Palm Beach County and North Broward County find tons of value there.
And less traffic.
And much less traffic, for sure.
And you have a lot of models to choose from. That's what I was impressed with. So it must make it a little easy for you. Of course, you'll be walking a lot, but you do get a chance to, I just, as I said, we were just talking with doctors, and they do a lot of qualifying and talking and figuring out. When someone first walks in, you don't just start showing them homes, do you? Don't you?
Typically, we'll have a little 2-3 minute overview presentation, try to find out where they currently live, what it is that might be leading them to look for a new home, and if they were to find a new home, what would be most important to them. That way we can, when we direct them to the models, kind of give them some insight as to what they may be looking for. We prefer to let the people walk the models on their own for 10 minutes or so without a salesperson, so they can relax, not feel any pressure. And normally what that does is it builds questions in their mind that they need to answer, so then when we rejoin them, they're full of questions. What about this? What about that? Could you tell me about this? And it's much more, I think, relaxed and pleasurable for them, and ultimately easier for us, because when they come in originally, they don't want to buy anything. They just want to look.
Right, just look, right.
They just want to look. So we let them look, but that piques their curiosity, and then if their interest is piqued, they have to find out the answers.
It'd be hard for someone's interest not to be piqued.
And that's the point, because of what you said. The models are so well done and so enticing. It leads to obvious need to answer questions, so we can come in as a counselor as opposed to a salesman, and answer those questions for them.
Well said. We also now have Susan Shipman. She wasn't on the last one. And Susan, if you want to talk to Bob, by the way, I think I misspelled Bob's name on the Facebook. It's F-R-E-I-N, not F-R-A-I-N. So,
no problem.
F-R-E-I-N. Okay. But Susan, if you have any questions about real estate or their wonderful LakePark homes, we're here to help answer them. Okay. Well, let's keep talking. So you have all sorts of models. Now let's start with the models. Let's go with the residences. You have the townhomes.
We have the paired villas and the traditional single-family homes. So at this point, just this week, we sold the last of the traditional detached single-family homes that we have. So we have released the models for sale, the furnished single-family home models.
No way. Oh, my goodness.
Sold those immediately when we released them to the market. So currently we show the public 4 paired villa models, and we have about 145 more villas to sell. We sell about 10 or 12 a month, so about a year from now we would be sold out.
But there's more land, I think, out there they're going to buy.
There may be. That would be up to the Minto fathers, and
I hope that's true,
to decide that's what they wanted to do. But for now, we know where we are for the next year to 18 months.
And the amenities are gorgeous.
Yeah,
the pool, and I saw these kids. Oh, that's the other thing to talk about. Even though it's a 55-plus community, there were a lot of kids there.
Well, the first 450 homes that Minto built at Town Park, the adjacent community, is family friendly, and they have a large club facility, and all our LakePark residents get to use that facility when they have visiting kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews. We also have an adult-only amenity center for the adults to use, with a lap pool, second fitness center, small and large dog park, and pool and spa if they want to relax quietly just as an adult and read a book and swim laps for exercise and work out. So our residents have the use of the 2 facilities.
And Bob, a lot of times people always would ask whether we were here in Boca Raton selling or something. What about amenities? What about hospitals? What about theaters? So tell us about what someone would expect to see up there.
So Port St. Lucie and St. Lucie County is by far not Palm Beach County, and it doesn't offer all the arts and culture that's available. But it's available in the north end of the county, very close, within a half-hour drive. But in Tradition itself, as a large master plan community, there is a medical center. There's a brand new orthopedic and cardiac surgical centers. Cleveland Clinic just announced a large presence into Tradition. So they are moving a full complement of their services into Tradition. We've got great shopping and dining. Tradition Town Center has about 11 local restaurants that are very nice, and a few of the chain restaurants that are available for dining out or eating out on a routine basis. So there's great shopping. We're right at a mile from a 95 exit 118 on I-95 at Tradition Parkway. So it's very easy access to North County, Gardens Mall, all of what Palm Beach Gardens and Jupiter have to offer. Downtown Stewart is 14 minutes away, so
and they have a lot of arts, and they're
eclectic
fun.
Arts and culture in Stewart. So it's very well located.
And of course, you live in Palm Beach Gardens. So how long does it actually take you to drive from Palm Beach Gardens?
I have a 30 to 35-minute commute from Donald Ross Road, right at the north end of Palm Beach Gardens.
Yeah, it's easy.
Fairly easy.
It really is. The other thing that it really appealed to me is that you encourage families to be friendly with each other, because they're almost in the same age bracket, and I knew you had certain events and you had little parties and all.
Yeah.
So do you have an activities director, actually?
There's not an activities director, but the community association manager, whose office is in the main clubhouse, sets a monthly calendar. A lot of the activities are resident driven. So there's a new resident that I've sold who does senior yoga, and he's a former military person and offers yoga free to any military families.
A man doing yoga, I love it.
So he is starting a group. We have a regular yoga group for ladies. They have a Zumba group. They have a Mahjong and card group. But a lot of it is organized by the residents themselves, and the groups can be anywhere from 6 to 20, participating. There's also a lot of independent activities in family homes. We hear a lot about couples from different areas who become new best friends, and now they have a new group of 4, 6, or 8 that they do everything with when they're around town. So that's all good.
Sandra Daly Lewis is watching. She was the lady who wrote to the doctors before, so
right.
She's watching too. I guess she likes to get on Facebook. So thanks, Sandra, for watching. We love to know that people are watching us.
Welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, welcome. Good morning. Right. What we want to do, though, of course, is to keep talking about the community. It's very easy, though, to get in there and you don't get lost. Sometimes you get into these communities and you don't know if you've taken the right road and how do you get out. I've been, and this is in Lake Worth, there's a place I've gone in the evening, and I can't get out. I go around and around. I can't find my way out. I've had to stop and ask someone. That's not true with you because you have one main road.
Yeah, the Tradition Parkway, the main road through the town, has 2 north-south roads, Village Parkway and Community Parkway, and everything is kind of gridded off of that. It's very well signed. We rarely have anybody say they got lost looking for the model. So as you come off of 95, it's directional straight off of the exit, and we're only 1.5 miles to our sales center to the west of the exit itself. So very easy access.
And when are you open? Are you open 7 days a week?
We're open 7 days, 9 to 5 Monday to Saturday, and 11 to 5 on Sunday. Give people a chance to go to church in the morning if they want to, and we're there from 11 to 5.
And how many times does someone have to come back to buy on an average?
It's very interesting. Traditionally in large-scale project real estate, people will visit 3 or more times before they buy. We find at LakePark that people visit 3 or less times to buy. We have the most prominent number is probably a second visit. The first visit excites them, interests them. They talk about it with family. They involve their children very often. And the second visit, we more often than not get extended family with them coming to bless the decision that mom and dad are making, or close friends that are coming. But the majority of our sales are made on the second or third visit to the community.
Why do you think that they're more apt to plunk their money down so quickly?
I think the community just resonates well, and they're at a stage in life when they are thinking in advance, they're well organized and planned, and their thought is, if I see it, I'm ready, I'll do it. And so we just have to show it to them, and if it's what they're in their mind's eye was what they were looking for, then I think there are no hurdles or roadblocks that are going to block them from doing that.
And there used to be a TV show called The Price is Right.
Yeah, and The Price is Right. That's the other thing for sure. When they know, in most cases, they are selling a home that is going to sell for more than the home they're going to buy. So financially, it's a very easy decision.
So they can pay all cash. They can pay cash. But for people who can't pay cash, I know that once I heard you had very, very good financing plans.
We have very aggressive financing for people. A lot of our people get what we refer to as a mortgage of convenience. They could pay cash, but they like the idea, given their whole work ethic, of having money in the bank, having emergency funds. If their pension, 401k, Social Security afford them the ability to make a monthly payment, that puts them just in a better mental state where they feel they've got all the bases covered. So very often we have people that will get a mortgage. Often it's 50 or 60% of the price of the house. It's not 80 or 90. And it just is to free up liquid funds for them to travel and do other things.
So I know you're very smart and you can do this. I know you didn't bring figures with us, but let's just give an example. So let's say somebody buys, you have villas. I knew you had homes in $250,000, but now let's say, what are the villas costing?
The villas range, when they're finished, between the base price of the unit, the home site that they select to build it on, and then the upgrades and changes that they wish to make to personalize the house. Our typical closed prices for the villas are from $235,000 to $285,000.
Okay, so let's take a $235,000. Let's take the
Sure.
low number. So let's say they put down 50. Do they have to put 50% down? Is that
No, they can put as little as 20% down.
They can.
Yeah, we got very good 80% loans available for those that want to do that. We have buyers that are still working. One of the other partners, many buyers are working from home now, doing some consulting. So they still have earned income, and they're happy to get an 80% mortgage.
Okay, so let's take a person like that. The home's $235,000. They put down 20%. What are their monthly payments going to be about?
So if they were to borrow $200,000 in round figures, today's rates translate to about $4.70 per thousand borrowed. So they would have a $940 payment for their mortgage.
My gosh.
Their real estate taxes would be about $400, and their HOA fees are about a month. I'm doing it monthly.
Okay, a month.
And their HOA fees to maintain the outside of their home and use the clubhouses is $400 a month. So they would be about $1,700 a month to live in the home with only a $50,000 cash investment. For many of them, that's less than their current mortgage. Certainly for anybody that has been renting, it's less than rental rates, which are raising dramatically.
Are we looking at three? Are we looking at 3 bedrooms at the ones?
2 bedrooms and a den.
And a den.
Typically, you configure it as 2 bedrooms and a den. They can configure the house if they build it as 3 bedrooms. They all have 2 baths. They all have a large screen lanai, 2-car garage. So they have all the comforts they have in their current home, just scaled to the size that they're looking for.
That's absolutely incredible.
That's
now
what makes it very appealing.
Right, and hurricanes usually don't find their way up there, but they have. What happens with? Do they have? I know Albacoa. When the people bought there, you already got your shutters. What happens there? You have to get your own.
No, we have not built a home in 2 years that did not have impact-resistant glass, so our residents don't have to deal with shutters at all. We give the people an opportunity to personalize the house. And very often the first thing we recommend and they accept is to put impact glass in the house and then not worry about the hurricane at all. We have Category 4 rated impact glass that covers their house to 140 miles an hour and gives them the comfort that they won't have to be physically putting up shutters or worrying about, what to do about the house in the event of a storm.
My guest is Bob FREIN, right? FREIN. And he's new home sales professional at Minto, LakePark at Tradition. And the way to find out more information is to go to mintousa.com. mintousa.com. When you go on it, then they can look into LakePark and then
it'll say find a location. They can find the location and get specifically to LakePark or any of the communities Minto is selling here in Florida.
Right, but to make an appointment with you, it's best to make an appointment, isn't it? Because otherwise you could sit there and wait for somebody else.
If somebody wants to make an appointment, we have direct lines. Our direct line is 772-530-5420.
I'm going to do that.
772-530-5420.
Okay, that's the direct line if someone's interested. But something Bob said is true. If you're interested, even though he's not going to sell it to you, they have wonderful homes down here in Broward and in Palm Beach County that's on the market. I think you just opened something new.
We have a large community in western Palm Beach County called Westlake. Some 3,000 homes will be built there in the next 15 years. We have Artesia down in Broward County.
Are any of them 55 plus?
Those
or not?
Are family friendly.
But you can, if you're 55,
certainly
you can live there if you don't want to live. Right.
Absolutely.
There are a lot of people
Active adults want to live in family communities.
Sure.
So those are available to those same buyers. Also, the Boomer Times readers can look at any of those. We have lots of our customers that shop at least 2 Westlake and LakePark.
And what about the Westlake? Where's that actually located?
It is west on North Lake Boulevard.
Oh, North Lake.
So North Lake Boulevard off of I-95 west to Seminole Pratt Whitney Road, and then you go south 5 miles to the grand entrance to Westlake.
And what are the prices of the homes there about?
Homes there are from $200,000 to $650,000.
The homes?
Yes, and they're all detached single-family homes there.
No kidding. And those are probably 2-bedroom, 2-bath?
They have 3 2s up to 5 3s, 5-bedroom, 3-bath, or 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes.
Amazing. Well, that's the one thing about about Minto, that they have the capacity to be able to build different size homes and keep
all
those
segments
prices.
of the market. Yes.
That's right. To keep. So you're saying that someone could buy 200, but in the 200s, but they're also 600,000.
Yes. There are 4 distinct neighborhoods in there, and each neighborhood caters to a different price point and different lot size.
Well, you have a lot to talk about. So what happens if someone comes there and they come up to LakePark and that's not exactly what they thought it was? Would you refer them down to one of the others?
Oh, we certainly make them aware of the other communities that are there. we also just had a friendly competition. We'll make them aware of the other communities that are available in the Port St. Lucie market so they can look and make a good value comparison. Very often when they look at a competitor, they return and find our value is what they're really looking for.
Yeah, your value is great. I mean, no, that's why whenever you open a community, we usually go up there and go through it. And I've done that a few times because people will ask us, the advertiser, what do you think about that? And you ought to go see them. I think it's something great, and they're very good as a second home.
It is perfect as a second home. We have at LakePark, probably 25% of our residents are winter residents only. 75% are there year-round, but even those winter-only residents have pretty short-term plans to sell their home up north, and that's why they're here and making friendships and relationships, and typically inside of a 3-year window, either because of retirement or because of family, they are making a plan to move.
So if someone does buy one, and they're not really going to live in it at the time, can they rent? Will you allow renters?
The Homeowners Association will not allow any short-term seasonal rentals.
No, but
so
a year.
They could rent it annually. They could rent it for a minimum of 6 months. So what the state considers to be a long-term rental is 6 months and a day. So any rentals over 6 months, they could do. Right now we only have 2 that I know of that are renting the home on an annual basis. They bought while they were in their early 50s, and they wanted what they wanted, and they're going to rent it for a couple of years before they'll use it themselves.
That makes a lot of sense to do that. And of course, in real estate, we know we never talk about appreciation because that's not something we do, but we know just from previous years, when you buy that reasonably, that you're not going to lose money. Let's just say it that way. I won't go ahead and...
And they're protecting their value, essentially.
Of course.
And they're doing it at a time when their income earning potential is stronger, so they have the excess funds, and now they're covering and in many cases paying down that property so that they can have it close to free and clear when they intend to use it themselves.
And this sounds crazy, but I'm going to ask you because you'll appreciate this. You never know what I'm going to ask, so just hang on to your seat. Okay. Can you have a Golden Girls relationship there? Could you have 3 separate families living in one home if it's large?
Yes. You can. The adults, we just register each resident and each occupant different from each owner. So we have situations where people are bought in their 50s and a 70-year-old mother-in-law is living with them on a permanent basis. We have had 2 single women adults, unrelated, unmarried, unattached, who bought a home together so that they could share expenses and share their travels as they went around the state. They were lifelong friends in Ohio and decided that this would be a good place to continue that friendship.
And I think that's going to happen more and more, but I think we're going to increase. I think we're going to go to 3 friends, we're going to go to 4 friends because it's a safe way to live, it's inexpensive.
Sure.
And so
makes sense.
It was said here on the show, right? So you can do that. And it doesn't have to be women, it can be men.
Absolutely.
And it's I mean, do you ever watch The Golden Girls? You've watched it.
I do, absolutely. Love the show.
I think all of us have, and I think our parents, my mother used to just have that show on all the time and repeat. Because that's the advantage of living in a safe, because that's the other, it's a safe community. Do you have, I'm trying to remember, I think you did have a guard.
We are policed by the City of Port St. Lucie Police.
Okay.
We have a gated community.
Yeah, gated, that's what I meant.
Staffed from 9 to 5.
Okay, it was gated though, right?
It is gated, and then after hours, all guests have to be registered by calling to the owner and the owner approving them to come into the community.
Okay, so that's really important. I mean, because...
So it is a closed access, safe community.
And what did you say that the homeowners cost was?
The association fees are $405 a month for the villas. That provides for all their exterior maintenance, lawn care, pest control, fertilizing, irrigating, mulching, the use of the 2 clubhouses. So they get cable, including HBO, high-speed internet, and private alarm monitoring, all in that fee.
Great. We have Lindsay down watching, Lindsay Riker, and then we have Scott Norwood. Scott Norwood's very involved in selling CBD.
Yes.
He's terrific, and I know him. And then Lindsay, I know her too. So you have a lot of people just wondering, if they need to know about this, whether they buy today or they send friends.
Absolutely.
Because I can just attest to it being incredible. And if the radio show is a little bit closer, I might consider it. I just don't think I could make it down here. And when I went up there, I was very impressed. Yeah, it's just lovely. So we really do thank you for for being here, Bob FREIN, a new home sales professional at Minto Lake Park at Tradition, and it's mintousa.com. And Bob, before I let you go, I want you to ask you, how do you rate what Minto did there compared to what Minto's done in the other areas? Is there anything that you know that's more special?
The two things I think that are a testament to their commitment to the community is through the downturn in real estate, they continued to sell and increase their sales, essentially because it's a very customer-driven company. They absolutely are committed to making the homeowner experience one that's enjoyable. We communicate weekly with every customer while their home is under construction. We send them pictures weekly. We go on FaceTime and do FaceTime with them weekly if they'd like to see the progress. Our superintendents are actually compensated on taking good care of them through the entire first year. They get evaluation surveys the week after move-in, 6 months after move-in, and 11 months after move-in, and we want them to know that the company didn't just build them a house. We are their partner in that house for as long as they live there.
Bob FREIN, you are such a professional. It's such a lovely thing to talk to you. I can't tell. We did not prepare this speech. He did not know what I was going to ask, but he knew an answer to everything. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you very much.